Hey everybody, this is Josh of Genus Loci. Today I'm going to be in real time drawing the first floor for the farmhouse in Spectres of Usarm. Sorry. I hope you can see well. This is the best place I can put the camera. I know I'm no Match Action or Dyson logo, but maybe you guys will find this interesting. Alright, here we go. Also, I'm left-handed. So, as you can see, I already have one line and my paper outline. I like to use Micron pens and Mars lithograph pencils. Typically the main outline here, which is done in pencil, is done in a 4H. And then most house walls are done in a number 2. I don't know if you can see on this. There you go. 2mm Micron. You can see I already have the one wall. I do apologize, I'm left-handed. I cannot put my camera anywhere else, I don't think. Let's see, actually. Excuse me. Whee! Hey, you guys got to see me. Alright. Hey, there we go. Let's see if that'll work. Can you guys see? Alright. So, still blocks it. So, what I do is I just go and I trace and try to be as straight as possible. But I do like Mr. Jackson's advice to me the other day, in which he says, basically, have fun. I think if I have fun doing what I'm doing, I have a better chance of giving the map personality that is indicative to the majority of the hand-drawn maps in the OSR. Of course, that could be me taking my inability to have talent and placing it in a greater resolve. I've been using microns quite some time. I originally started using them back when I did webcomics. No links. That was a different lifetime and a different me. So, as you can see already, we're starting to get a nice point of view here. You guys can see the map, it's not just a faint outline. And the Micron 2mm gives a very nice, thick, solid line that translates over very well when it gets scanned in the computer. I am cheap, so I use your basic Mead $1 graph paper. I may be taking Mr. Logos' advice in the next week and picking up some better quality material just so I can maybe do things a little better. Now, one thing I did, and you guys really can't see it, is I overlapped my lines. So I got to remember when I'm tracing to not just go straight through. I did that to try to keep at least some uniformity between walls during breaks. Whether or not it worked, however, I cannot say. Well, at least not until we get it completely inked in, right? Alright. So this is the first floor. The first floor has a few different rooms. It has the study, the steward's quarters, because you have to be right there to get the door, the dining hall, stairs to the second floor. Right now we're on the kitchen. And then you also have the study and the ballroom. Because what manor, even when it's a farmhouse, doesn't have a ballroom? So in this 2-page adventure, the players are tasked with finding out why the town's mayor, Lord Mayor Tervar, hasn't been heard of since the day after the orc attacks in the Shrine of this Air. That's a 5-page adventure. I'll provide the link to that at the bottom. So as you can see, we now have the kitchen. And honestly, from what you guys are seeing, that looks so much better than what I'm seeing with my own eyes right here. We're going to come up. We connect our lines. And really, that is what a lot of this seems to be. A nice, old-fashioned game of connect the dots. And part of me right now wants to tell you all that you need to put in some pretty trees. Some happy, pretty trees. But I don't have the beard or the hair to be Mr. Ross. Nor the talent. And if you get that joke, you are not my daughter's age. Bob Ross dying was a huge, huge loss to anyone who is up at 5 in the morning and has nothing better to do than watch PBS. We all miss happy trees. Now, this box in the middle right here, that is actually a shared chimney. Because you have on this side and this side, both in the sitting room and in the dining room, ballroom, a fireplace. If you're noticing, the fireplace, I'm going over my lines twice. That's because it's not quite big enough for a bigger size micron. I want to give it a little more oomph, because it's made of stone than the wood walls right here. Alright, so continue with their walls. Dooch, dooch, click. Messed up a little bit right there. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. It was perfect. Wouldn't be hand-drawn map. I can tell you though, my high school drafting teacher, and that's what I used to do. I used to be a draftsman. My high school drafting teacher would kill me. Just completely kill me. So we're going to move away from the Micron 2, and we're going to get out a slightly smaller one. Which in this case, because of how fine I want the hatching to be, we're going to use the 005. Right there. Alright, I'm pointing it the wrong way. I'm used to the camera being right there. So, see right there? And Dyson keeps up his normal hatching that he uses inside dungeons, and Matt's been experimenting with a few different things, and it's amazing. Normal hatching, just completely filling it in black, and a few other things, kind of trying to make it look like wood grain. I go with your typical crosshatch at an angle, so just going to do a quick little bit right here. The only thing that stinks about the crosshatch in this thing is crosshatching really works best with a ruler. However, by doing it with a ruler, you take away a bit of what makes the hand drawing segment so cool. Now, if you can see the grid at all through my big meaty hand here, that's about the approximate size of each room, with each piece of the grid being your typical 5-foot square. So, when you get translated over to the map, as with Joy in the Flask, you're not going to be able to see this grid. You'll have to put one in digitally, which means the rooms might end up a little bit smaller, or maybe even a little bit bigger than what they're intended to be in the hand drawing. That's okay. I've rarely met a GM, DM, referee, or storyteller, whatever nether names they may have these days, who uses every map as drawn. We always like to add in our own little changes and touches that makes what other people did our own, and that's okay too. It's one of the reasons I like the OSR. Kind of takes away that imperative by others to do things as written. Something I never really liked, that idea that the rules as written was more important than the stories being told and the adventures being had. Now, over here in this blank spot, you're going to see dots going from here. Maybe. I don't know if I can fit it on this paper. And then we're going to get to the basement. In the basement, we're going to go back to the little circle stone things I like to do. Right now, we're going to pause. If I can find pause. Try to pause.